888-4843. Text line is Sports Radio 21,000 as well. It's a rough day for a lot of people who support the University of Michigan, but also support college football, support wives, mothers, and daughters.
Morality.
So I never get too caught up in I would like to get caught up in the morals of sports, but usually that's right out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Because most of us who say morality also don't understand the people we look up to, the people we cheer on, the people whose jersey we wear. We don't know a damn thing about their private life.
Of course.
And we will support these people left and right, not knowing some of the despicable things that they've done to their significant others throughout their careers. So I try to hold that in check as much as we would like to. And we want to put coaches and players and administrators and, owners and presidents of teams on pedestals. You can't. But during this whole Sharon Moore, and you're well aware of what is taking place, that he's been fired for cause for a reported inappropriate relationship with a staffer. Spent 2 years there at the helm at Michigan, 18-8. Biff Poggi is going to serve as the interim head coach of the Citrus Bowl against Texas on December 31st. But I think lost in this, while this gains all the headlines, is that he has a wife and 3 daughters. And I know that's kind of a secondary part of when it's really too bad it should be the very first part of the story. Because sure, he ruined his own career. He ruined, to a certain extent, his life, I would guess. But his wife's life is ruined too. And so is the 3 daughters. And so are the messages that a father, not a coach, a father tried to give to his daughters. And what they're willing to accept. And how they should handle situations. And how they need to be strong. So on and so forth. This is a bitter life lesson for those 4 individuals. People look at Sharon Moore because it's the big name, it's the position that he held. But my first thought went toward his wife and 3 daughters. And look, today's day and age, social media aspect of it, people are going to poke fun. They're going to bring up memes. They're going to do all these different things. This is not the Philip Rivers situation, folks, where all these memes of an old guy running through, weaving his way through young players on a flag football contest that makes you laugh. This is a really tough situation. I don't care who you root for. All right, I don't care if it's your rival or not. When people want to bring into this, gotcha, look at this, I want you to think a little bit deeper than just, oh boy, Michigan screwed up. Oh boy, this school screwed up. What he did is inexcusable. What he did doesn't necessarily mean that he would never get a job again. Now, how he handled it afterwards and the reason he went to jail, the Washington County jail, is completely different. I mean, that is psychotic stuff right there. And that disqualifies. However, if this is a guy who made this major mistake, felt like he was bigger than anything else, felt like he was almost owed it, felt like he was above everybody else, and how he thought he could get away with something like this blows my mind. It really does. I'm sure it blows your mind too. How do people not put things like this together? It's ridiculous. It's not the first time. It won't be the damn last time. You would think people would learn, but they don't. I say this all the time. When Magic Johnson was diagnosed with HIV, and it rocked everybody's world. I remember right where I was in Milwaukee. I pulled over because massive Magic Johnson fan, obviously growing up. I pulled over. I couldn't believe it. Do you think that changed anybody in sports, not just the NBA? Sports who was a little bit, I don't know, promiscuous? Do you think anybody changed? Maybe for a week, 2 months, maybe even a year. Long-term, hell no. You don't think that stuff goes rampant now? Just listen to some of the podcasts of these guys, okay? So it's not like people saw that and said, you know what? That changed my life. This is not a Tony Robbins moment, okay? So this is going to happen again. If you think about it, Sharon Moore was on the Michigan staff when Mel Tucker got in trouble. He recognized it, did he not? How could you not? And yet it didn't seem to matter. Didn't learn. Where does Michigan go from here? It's a good question. How many kids, parents, are going to trust the judgment of a Michigan appointed or hired? It's going to be a hell of a challenge, you would guess. Other news last night, and unfortunately this gets lost in all the, it's not just gossip, it's now deep-rooted problems in Michigan, because this is the trifecta, if you will. The Harbaugh situation, the Connor Stallion situation, the staffer who, was hacking into people's private accounts, and now this. That shows you a lack of institutional control. And that should concern Michigan fans as much as anything else. You've made some good hires with others. Yeah, Dusty May seems to be a good hire. Brandon Arado seems to be a good hire. But some of the things that led to these hires, not Dusty May really, I mean, Juwan Howard just couldn't get it done, is a bit of an issue. Mel Pearson, who I thought was a really good hire in Michigan for hockey, look at the reason he was let go. That's what I'm talking about. It's not just the Harbaugh and the Connor Stallion. There is a little, would you say it's a pattern? Oh. It's not a good look. And again, if you're a football recruit, are you thinking about a few years ago in Mel Pearson? Are you even thinking about Michigan hockey? Do you even know about Michigan hockey? Probably not. But I'm talking about big picture here. Anyway, lost in all this. Red Wings hold on to flames before he last night. Alex Brinkett, Alex Sandelica scores 3.5 minutes apart in the first. Dylan Larkin and Brinkett scored a minute and a half apart in the second. They had a 4-0 cozy lead. Brinkett had a 3-point night. Patrick Kane and Andrew Coppage had a couple of helpers. Things were looking good. And then the third started. Calgary scores 3 goals in a 6.5 minute span. And things got really interesting. But the Wings won it. And they've won now 4 straight road games against Flames. They are now 4-0-1 in their last 5. They play Edmonton and Chicago left on the trip. Edmonton is tonight. Pistons will host the Hawks tomorrow. Detroit for the 2 meetings. It's interesting. I read something the other day about rating the NBA off front offices. And I thought to myself, the way this team has turned things around, do I expect them at the top of the list, say, the Oklahoma City Thunder, who rolled again last night to get to 24-1, right? So far this year, they have been in complete command. ESPN had a graphic up for 265 minutes. They led 25 or more, 20 or more. Trailing, it's been 249 minutes. So that tells you how dominant they've been. So anyway, I thought the Pistons probably wouldn't get the front office support of those who voted. 36 NBA executive asked to name the top 5. And Oklahoma City got the most first place votes. You can understand why. They got 31. Then it was Boston. Then it was Houston. Then it was Miami. That's a trust factor. That's a history factor. That's Pat Riley. Indiana, Cleveland. Whoa. Then it's Minnesota. Then it's the Knicks. Then it's the Spurs. Then it's the Warriors. Hold on a second. Maybe it's too small of a sample size. Seemed very odd to me. Certain front offices, I understand it. But others, some of them I just mentioned, makes no sense. Quick timeout. We're back with more. This is X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network, brought to you by MitchellLanswealth.com. A little later on, we'll visit with A.J. Schulte. He's going to talk to us about the Rams Lions from LA perspective. Writes for A to Z Sports. Covers the draft, covers the Rams, covers the Texas A&M Aggies, and so he's a busy dude. So we will talk with him at 8:35. In the meantime, phone number is 866-838-4843. Text Sports Radio 2000. Here's what's going to happen today. If it hasn't happened already, people are going to start to reach. They're going to ask, how did you not know about this? Now, I think it's a big question. What do you have support that they didn't know? This has been going on, this investigation from I think early to mid-November. So obviously it didn't take super long to come to a conclusion. How did they not recognize it? Like, I don't know when it started. I don't think anybody did. There is a picture floating out there of or it's a video. Sorry, short clip of the video. Not the BTN put it out because they wouldn't do that, but from a BTN broadcast. And it's Jerome Moore talking to the person he's alleged to have had a relationship with. And that's the reason he's let go, as you know. And people are saying, his arrogance and willingness to do this, and so forth. I don't know how you jump to that conclusion. There are people. I don't know exactly how many credentials or people get on the sidelines. I was on the sideline before the game against Ohio State. I can't tell you how many people I saw out there. There are recruits, there are friends, there are former players, there are all kinds of people who you would not have guessed would have had access to a sideline pass. Parading regularly behind the ropes and expected to stay within a certain distance. Players come over, say hi, take pictures. Coaches come over, say hi, take pictures. So there's a video of this assistant, this person associated with the athletic program, talking to him, and the immediate thought is, this not recognized? It's not like they're holding hands. They're not putting arms around each other. You see women on the sideline all the time. You see people who are associated with the university, with passes, all the time. And to try and link the two would say, he was doing this right in front of our noses. How do you not recognize it? They weren't cuddling. They weren't playing footsie. They weren't holding hands. They didn't have their arms around each other. They didn't kiss each other goodbye. They didn't give each other a peck on the cheek and say good luck. They didn't do any of that stuff. It's two people talking. Traveling with teams, the collegiate level too. How do you not know she's one of those people who's helping as an academic, even if that's not her role? From afar, looking at something like that, we need to recognize how many people are involved in an athletic department and associated with football. I was at their practice facility the other day. There were a ton of young women handing out various food to the players after practice. So I think it's a bit of a leap. I think there's a lot of people who just go, wow. See, here the two of them are together. That's a problem Michigan should have known. Should Michigan have known in other ways? I'm sure there's plenty of examples that will come out and give you that piece of expectation from a school. But looking at a short clip on social media, because the two of them are standing 4 feet apart and talking is not evidence. Sorry. only because I've seen it time and time again. And by the way, not just at Michigan. You see it at every single school. And at the NFL level. You try to determine who is who associated with coaches and players and so on and so forth. It'll drive yourself batty trying to figure that out. 966-838-4843. That's Tech Sports Radio 21,000. How do you think this Michigan football program? Look, what sports has become, without being the moral police here, what sports has become is really too bad. When you have to, and I suppose this has been this way for a long time. This is not just a Michigan thing. It wasn't a Mel Tucker thing for Michigan State. I don't take any glee in any of these people losing their jobs. I don't take any glee in the entire situation. There could be some of you out there who's just like, see, got you now. I'm not part of that rivalry either. I didn't take any glee with Rick Pitino. What happened with him? He was able to bounce back, wasn't he? Of course, he didn't go to a subject's home and make threats in public that forced an arrest. But what sports has become now, and I suppose social media is part of this, where you're able to dissect and investigate and come to such quick conclusions has made it difficult outside of just watching games. You almost don't want to be part of it. And again, I think a lot of this has been going on for a long time. That's why I always say, the moral police, be careful. You've got guys like Tom Henderson, Lawrence Taylor, thought he's an unbelievable player. One of the greatest, if not the greatest defensive player of all time. Find out looped up by cocaine. Thomas Hollywood had the same issues. You know why? Because we're people. We're human beings. We make mistakes. We make flaws. And then the people who judge or rate these people take a moral high ground once they find out about those missteps or weaknesses. That's what happens. We have people actually judging others who are doing the same thing the people they're judging for. That's what happens, I suppose, in today's day and age. So I don't take any glee or, say, oh, well, this is actually good. I had somebody say to me yesterday, this is a good thing for Michigan because Jerome Moore's not a very good coach. And I thought, look, you don't think he's a good coach, that's fine. Maybe they shouldn't have hired him in the first place. Maybe what we should do is they should have bought out the rest of his contract, recognized enough, didn't really beat anybody outside of Washington, all those other things. But you think it's a good thing for Michigan? What about the personal side of things in our society? Have we become so immune to the sport and the people who play the sport and their fallibility to make it about us and about football? It's a sad commentary on our society today. 27 after the hour, got to take a quick time out. We welcome your feedback here on BrO's a little bit later on. 8:35, AJ Schulte joins us from A to Z Sports to talk Lions and Rams on a Tullymore Thursday, brought to you by Mitch Lyons Wealth and MitchLyonsWealth.com.
Ho, ho, ho! Santa Bucks are back at Meijer! This Friday and Saturday only, save up to $50 with Santa Bucks. Stack your Santa Bucks on top of super sale items to save even more on popular brands like Crock-Pot, Keurig, and Cormier. Clip your Santa Bucks coupon in the Meijer app for low prices and more merry for your money. This Friday and Saturday only, Santa Bucks and Meijer. Now that's what makes the holiday season a good deal better. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Mitch Lyons here from Mitch Lyons Wealth, wishing everyone a happy holidays. Just like the holidays, retirement should be a joyful time too, full of cheer and happiness. But for many people, it seems out of reach, confusing, intimidating, and just too darn complicated. Mitch Lyons Wealth wants to make things easier for you by helping you create a blueprint for a retirement of steel. One with certainty, protection, and income that allows you to live every day in retirement like it's Christmas. Stop kicking the can down the road and let's get you started with a blueprint to win retirement. The first step is having the right tools. I'm offering you our Retirement of Steel toolkit at no cost. This complimentary toolkit includes my book, Retirement of Steel, along with guides for taxes, Social Security, retirement income, and more. It's yours today with a simple call. Call 844-86-STEEL. That's 844-867-8335. Again, 844-867-8335. MitchLyonsWealth.com, your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Thanks for tuning in to X's and Bros with Matt Shepard, only on the Michigan Sports Network.
Make every second count inside the $3,360,000 Mega Cash Cube at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Every Friday and Saturday in December from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. 2 lucky winners will be drawn every hour to step into the Cash Cube. Once the bills start flying, it's game on. Grab as much cash as you can before the clock hits zero. $30,000 in cash is swirling around, and whatever you can grab is yours. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Okay, back with you 35 after the hour here on X's and Bros throughout the state of Michigan. Appreciate you taking some time on a Tullymore Thursday with us. I'm Matt Shepard. Trent Valley is with us as well. 866-838-4843. The text line, Sports Radio 21,000. There are a ton of names that people are going to banty about. And, here's the other thing. You don't have to say, well, this is the right one or this is the wrong. You can have debates about them. I hope you do. I had some friends in a discussion last night, a group text, and certain names were bantied about. Let me give you some of those names, just give you an idea of where some people's heads were at. Now, there are articles out there. I've seen Kalen DeBoer's name mentioned numerous times. I'm just wondering. And I respect Michigan. It's not that I don't, but I'm just wondering, why would a guy leave Alabama for Michigan? Just ask him. What's the best college football coaching job in America?
Alabama, point blank.
You would think.
Yep.
So
until proven otherwise. I mean, come on, Shep. Let's be realistic here.
No, if you have it, why would you leave?
Right.
I mean, unless you're fired, of course.
Well, and there's a number of factors that go into it.
Somebody firing you. It's not you leaving. Is it the pressure? Do you think there's pressure at Michigan? It may not be as steep as Alabama because there are other things in the state of Michigan that perhaps is more distracting for fans.
Right.
You got a basketball team, you got a hockey team, you've got professional sports in the area that people can take their mind off of so they can focus on those teams for a short period of time. Whereas Alabama is 24/7, 365 days a year. So maybe there is less sex appeal there unless you're Nick Saban and the greatest college football coach of all time.
Too soon for sex appeal, Shep.
Right.
I'm sorry. I don't.
No, that's a really good point. So I don't know. I've seen Kalen DeBoer. I get why people want him.
Yeah.
Although, if he doesn't make the college football playoff this year, I wonder how many people are saying, yes, that's the guy I have. I think he's a really good coach. I like him. I think he's a good man. I've known him because he was Eastern's offensive coordinator when I was calling Eastern Michigan football. So I've seen that. Here's what everybody wants. Trent, you know this as well as I do. Everybody wants the next Kurt Signet.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to James Madison and get the next Kurt Signet. There are a few other names out there I think are probably more logical. So some people have said Clark Lee. He's at Vanderbilt. Seems like a pretty good coach. He's 26-35. Tough place to win. And that's what the argument will be. He's been 2-10, 5-7, 2-10, 7-6, 10-2. He's had one outstanding season this season right here. Is that enough for you to say that's my guy?
Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah, I would agree with you. How long does your resume have to be in order, or how good does your resume have to be in order for you to feel comfortable with your school taking the next guy?
And you can have a 1-year resume too. It needs to be a sample size. That's the thing. How comfortable are you with one good season or one good run? Do you need to see 3 good runs before that's your guy?
Sure.
These are the questions you got to ask for sure.
It's so easy for all of us to go, how did nobody sign Kurt Signet before? Because if you look at his resume, and I'm not sure if people have, but he's told you to do it. I win. Google me, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. When he was at Indiana University of Pennsylvania, which I've always thought very strange, 7-3, 12-2, 9-2, 6-5, 9-3, 10-2. He went 53-17 here. No major conference school went and got him. Instead, Elon went and got him. And he went 14-9 in 2 years there. Then James Madison went and got him. And what did he do with James Madison? He went 52-9. Then Indiana got it. But that's a steady, regular winning resume.
Yeah, it's a
He's
trajectory.
143 and 37. Now, this is different. Clark Lee's at Vanderbilt, for crying out loud. So what he's done at Vanderbilt this past season, pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
But the build-up prior to that, his name wouldn't even be on your lips. You might not even know who the hell he was if it weren't for the 10-2. So to say Michigan is going to go get this guy after he's proven himself one season, and it's been a hell of a season, and it's a tough place to win, I think might be a little bit of a reach for many Michigan faithful. This is what you get. This is who we get. We go get Vanderbilt, viewed widely as a lower tier SEC team to come coach our team. We don't get the top SEC guy.
I can see
one of the top SEC guys.
I can sort of see the logic there, though, Shep, because you're getting a guy who, it's kind of like what we've said about Pat Fitzgerald. He won in a place where it's a little bit tougher to win, right? Northwestern, comparatively to the rest of the conference. I think that's the case at Vanderbilt.
He's there for 17 years, dude.
There's a difference.
Okay.
And I was going to get there. Yes, you're right.
Okay.
So I don't disagree with you. I can sort of see the logic behind, hey, this guy he went 10-2 in the SEC at a school that's not known for football at all.
Here's the irony. If Pat Fitzgerald were available, Michigan probably would have been knocking on his door.
Sure. He would have been in the mix. You bet your bottom dollar. Yeah.
Jeff Braun is another name that people have brought up. Again, in my chat with a group of friends. Like, okay. 36 and 34 Purdue. He's been in the Big Ten. He's doing a good job at Louisville. Yeah, sure. It's the American Football Conference, man. Or it's the American Conference. How do you do in the Big Ten? I don't know. What do you measure?
Yeah, what matters?
You wait. What he's done recently at Louisville, and it's been really good. Okay. 27-12. Do you look back at Western Kentucky before Purdue, where he went 30-10? Or do you look at the Big Ten sample size, where he went 36-34, one game over 500 in Big Ten play? The best record he had in the season was 9-4. My best friend went to Western Michigan, so of course, what's he going to say? Lance Taylor. Come on, man. He's been at Western for 3 years. Crying out loud. He's 500. Maybe you got to get him one. Give me a name. When Michigan State was looking, what did I say? I said Pat Fitzgerald. I was one of the first. I don't want to say the first one.
No, you were way out in front of it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Take all the credit you need, Shep. You were way out in front of that one.
Can I give you, if I'm Michigan, I'm at least making this phone call. Eli Drinkwitz.
Sure.
That's what I would do. Appalachian State 12-1. Goes to Missouri. And look, I just got done bitching about Vanderbilt, lower SEC. I wouldn't say Missouri's as low as Vanderbilt has been.
No. But still, same idea.
Middle, right? Okay. Right around 500 his first 3 years. Then boom, 11-2, 10-3. This year a little bit more of a disappointment. Works the portal well. That's part of the criteria these days. You have to. Works the portal well. Seems like a guy who would fit. Makes $9 million a year. Would he be interested in something like that?
Drinkwitz, I thought the rumors were he was involved in the Florida job. He was involved in the LSU job if Lane Kiffin didn't take it. So, I mean, he's getting looks in that conference alone. So I wouldn't be surprised at all, Shep. That's a great name to throw out there if Michigan wants to take a look at Drinkwitz.
SEC Coach of the Year. I said this to somebody last night. And by the way, I said this about Michigan State too. So I'm not being hyperbolic here or hypocritical or anything like that. What I've said is go after the very best that you think is out there. Let's say it's Kalen DeBoer. Make the phone call. What's the worst thing that can happen? They turn you down.
You'd say no.
Is there some type of stench on you if you get turned down?
No.
Maybe. I mean, Penn State, look what we thought about with Penn State. Oh, my God, all these people are turning them down. The BYU coach turned them down for crying out loud. We think that's some type of indictment on them. Then they go get Matt Campbell, who's a really good coach, I think. And I would have gone and knocked on his door. Like if Michigan had done this a month ago, that would have been a guy I would have wanted.
Right, but the phrase, I think the point you're getting at here is no stone unturned, no stone left unturned, right?
Yeah.
You're Michigan football, man. This is the pro. Go make every phone call of it. Call Nick Saban. Just call him. See what he says. He'll say no, but just do it. It's Michigan football.
Can I give you one more name? And it might be too controversial, and that's not what they need right now. I mean, if you're looking for a perfect candidate, good luck finding him.
You're going to say John Gruden?
Yeah.
John Gruden. I did see that last night, Shep. I saw. I don't know if it was parody or if it was a joke, but people were photoshopping John Gruden in Michigan here.
Yeah. Look, he comes with some baggage too. What are your thoughts on Kenny Dillingham, Arizona State?
I like him. I don't know. That seems a little bit, and I don't mean to equate this just to Michigan State because I'm a Spartan, but the Jonathan Smith coming to Michigan State thing, maybe it's a little bit of a culture shock, doesn't necessarily fit. That'd be my only concern with Dillingham.
Well, can you explain that? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, just coming across the country, completely different region, completely different area, completely different feel, bigger expectations. Well, I would say Oregon State.
He was the OC at Auburn.
Similar. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He's the OC at Florida State, OC at Oregon. You know what I'd do? My first call, besides if you want Kalen DeBoer, I would call Dan Lanning.
Nice.
Okay.
He was a hot candidate last coaching cycle.
Well, I don't know why would he leave Oregon? Why would he leave Oregon?
Well, they re-upped him, but I remember last coaching cycle.
None of that stuff matters, unfortunately. They just re-upped Eli Drinkwitz. We said that's fine. They re-upped Kenny Dillingham. We thought that's fine. They re-upped a lot of coaches. Matt Campbell's buyout is SF. That means nothing in today's day and age of sports. I don't care who's been re-upped. Teams or schools are willing to, with these buyouts, as you saw with James Franklin, right? I don't care about any of that, and I don't think schools do either. But why would he leave Oregon for Michigan in the same conference? And he's had probably as much sustained success as anybody else. So why would you think he would leave?
Well, I mean, I don't think he would.
You don't? Okay.
I don't think he would. No, but I think
you'd at least make a phone call.
Yes, this goes back to you have got to try.
Yeah.
What's the fault in trying, right, Shep? Like you said, the worst thing that they can say is no. And then you move on.
Here's the confusing thing, Trent. I don't get if they began this investigation into Sharon Moore in November. First of all, they kept it pretty quiet, which is pretty cool. But second of all, you have to prepare for the worst. And Ward Manuel, who hired Sharon Moore, and quite honestly, has made some bad hires.
Do you think he's going to keep the tour? But
I don't know. I think the Board of Regents is meeting soon. I could be wrong there.
Because that's something to keep an eye on.
But I want you to think about this.
He has made a few bad hires.
What are the major sports at Michigan? If you say softball, knock it off, okay, please. Even though she left, Carol Hutchins left as the all-time winningest coach in Michigan sports history. The three sports, let's just take the three. Men's basketball, not in order. Men's basketball, football, and hockey, okay? Maybe you say women's basketball. I don't know. But he didn't hire her anyway. Those three. He hired Mel Pearson, and look what happened. Granted, he hired Brandon Naurato, but Trent Bally could have hired Brandon Naurato. He took his team to the Frozen Four. His hire in football was Sharon Moore. And look at what happened. His hire in basketball was Juwan Howard. And look what happened. Now, he also hired Dusty May. You know who was part of the Dusty May interviewing process? John Beilein. I don't know if this is me feeling like Michigan, there's too much of a connection to Beilein because he's a friend of mine and because I think, would you ever think about him being an AD? He knows how to vet coaches.
I like that idea.
We know he's an upstanding person.
He is a brilliant sports mind. He is.
Well, he knows people, I think.
And I'll say that, Jeff, because I'm not a friend of his like you are. From the outside looking in, he's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, some people may think, like, what's the most important things for an athletic director? You got to raise money.
Relationships.
Coaches too. Yeah. Anyway, I digress a little bit. That's a problem right now. The problem isn't raising money there. The problem is some of the coaches that have been hired. Anyway, love your thoughts on it on the Meyer Hotline, 866-838-4843. You can text us, Sports Radio 21,000. This is X's and Bros on a totally warm Thursday, brought to you by MidlinesWealth.com.
Huge here with a message to all of you Lions fans. My good friend Josh Garvey, who runs Doran Mayhew's Grand Rapids office, will join me every Thursday with former Lion Lomas Brown, and we'll go inside the Lions each and every week all the way through the Super Bowl. Doran Mayhew is proud to partner with the Huge Show, and we're proud to have a guy like Josh Garvey join us in studio every week. If you have a Lions question or comment, you can drop them at Huge Show on Twitter, The Huge Show on Facebook. Doran Mayhew, proud to be a part of the West Michigan community and across the entire state with their corporate worldwide headquarters in Troy, Michigan. So make plans every Thursday, 5 p.m. It's Josh Garvey, who is the managing shareholder at Doran Mayhew's GR office, with Lomas Brown on the Huge Show, going inside the Lions every Thursday at 5 p.m.
Mitch Lyons here from Mitch Lyons Wealth, wishing everyone a happy holidays. Just like the holidays, retirement should be a joyful time too, full of cheer and happiness. But for many people, it seems out of reach, confusing, intimidating, and just too darn complicated. Mitch Lyons Wealth wants to make things easier for you by helping you create a blueprint for a retirement of steel. One with certainty, protection, and income that allows you to live every day in retirement like it's Christmas. Stop kicking the can down the road and let's get you started with a blueprint to win retirement. The first step is having the right tools. I'm offering you our Retirement of Steel toolkit at no cost. This complimentary toolkit includes my book, Retirement of Steel, along with guides for taxes, Social Security, retirement income, and more. It's yours today with a simple call. Call 844-86-STEEL. That's 844-867-8335. Again, 844-867-8335. MitchLyonsWealth.com, your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Farrah's Coffee's been family-owned and operated for over 100 years. Its popular Den Blend and Dark Roast is more than coffee and more than the official coffee of the Detroit Lions. It's a call to rise. Farrah's Coffee and the Lions are the perfect match. They embrace those who show up early, cheer loud, and never back down. Den Blend in Grand Rapids and provides the ultimate fuel for fans who wake up and roar. Whether you're tailgating at the game or cheering from your couch, Den Blend is your go-to coffee for your game day ritual.
It's a New Year's Eve bingo bash at Soaring Eagle Casino. Close the books on 2025 and win big prizes, including free bingo for a year, logoed champagne glasses stuffed with $500 cash, concert tickets, bingo baskets, and more. Tickets just $200 on sale now at etix.com. Come on down and win big. It's New Year's Eve at the Soaring Eagle Bingo Hall. Main session at 1:30, early bird at noon. Must be 18, rules at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
Ho, ho, ho! Santa Bucks are back at Meijer. This Friday and Saturday only, save up to $50 with Santa Bucks. Stack your Santa Bucks on top of super sale items to save even more on popular brands like Crock-Pot, Keurig, and Cornea. Clip your Santa Bucks coupon in the Meijer app for low prices and more merry for your money. This Friday and Saturday only, Santa Bucks and Meijer. Now that's what makes the holiday season a good deal better. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
The Freddie the Pizza Man Foundation is dedicated to providing support to families and Michigan schools touched by autism. We invite you to join us in supporting these families and schools by making a donation at freddythepizzaman.com. With your donation, you can help provide essential resources that can make a real impact. Visit freddythepizzaman.com to make a donation and to learn more about the foundation's mission. That's FREDI, thepizzaman.com. Together, we can make a difference.
Van Andel Institute Purple Community is a grassroots fundraising network powered by the dedicated volunteers who support VAI's mission to improve human health now and in the future. When you raise funds through the Van Andel Institute Purple Community, 100% of the proceeds go directly to the Institute's research into diseases like cancer and Parkinson's, as well as VAI's science education programs. Learn how you can get involved at purplecommunity.org.
You are listening to X's and Bros with Matt Shepard on the Michigan Sports Network, but you don't need to be in Michigan to tune us in. Search XB Mornings on X or X's and Bros on YouTube.
Okay, I want to get to some texts here on X's and Bros coming up. Just a quick thought here. I've been scrolling through some social media. Trent and I do that on a regular basis. And we love our Michigan Sports Network family. Okay. Brett works with Huge in the afternoon. We consider them brothers. There's nothing wrong with disagreeing with your brother. Everything's fine. Okay?
I do it often.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Although your brother's a good dude. He's probably more right than you are. But anyway. Huge sent this out. Do you see any other football coach on earth at any level in the game allowing an attractive personal assistant to hang out with players and team while not doing anything connected to work? You can't be blind to these things. This took more down. The answer to that is yes. Yes, you do. You see it all the time. You see a lot of people. There's no way any talk show host, any play-by-play announcer, any analyst, anybody, any athletic director walks the sidelines and knows who every single person is on that sideline, whether they're attractive or not, whether it's a male or a female.
Yeah,
they
that's
have
matter.
no idea.
Sports.
It's sports, especially at the University of Michigan or a Big Ten school. Go on the field before a game, get a sideline pass, and I would argue just about everybody in the football building has that pass. You got to be off the field at a certain period of time. Noon kick, it's 11:30.
That's when they start ushering all the people off that aren't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. If you're part of it, I mean, holy crap, if you're going to let the television broadcast crew through and they can walk wherever they want. I don't care if it's Gus Johnson. I don't care if it's Jenny Taft, her producer, cameraman, all this stuff. You let them in anywhere. You don't think somebody who's associated with the football program that is in the building every single day doesn't have the same access? Wake up. Of course it is. Just because there's a video or a picture of the two of them on the sideline together before a game doesn't mean Michigan should have gone, this is a little suspicious. Coaches oftentimes, while their players are going through stretching or whatever, are talking to a lot of different people. They're shaking hands and they're talking to them. I'm not defending it. I'm just telling you, it's not uncommon.
Right.
And yes, is their game day duty done? Yep. A personal assistant doesn't need to be doing her job on game day.
I think the point here is that there's much more blame to go around than just Sharon Moore. Obviously, he did, of course, he deserves the brunt of the blame. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there's other factors at play here, and it's okay to point the finger at them as well.
And I'm not suggesting that Michigan shouldn't have known something.
Right.
Because I think they should have if you're doing your internal monitoring.
It's hard to imagine they
should have known something. Yeah. But that picture, that reason is not the be-all, end-all reason for knowing. If you think there's the evidence, boom, right here. These two are talking on the sideline before a game. Wrong. Not even close. Sorry. Now, I would say this. If the quote-unquote rumors are true, and Michigan has known this for an extended period of time, that's what I would like to know. I'd love to know. Tell me when they first suspected something like this and began an investigation. Because here's where they jumped to the conclusion. Well, they wanted to get through signing day, and I think they had the 11th best, depending on which website you look at, 11th best national class in the country. And if that's the case, and waited until signing day, that's pretty bad. Number one.
Yeah, it's not fair to the kids. It's really not.
Well,
I don't mean to be that guy, like, the kids. I know they're going to get millions of dollars. I'm just saying.
Well, not all of them. So you're right, but we got to be careful when we say it's not fair to the kids, because not Trent Valley, but the people who are saying, well, it's not fair to the kids, are the same people who are going, let's have a 2014 playoff. Let's have a 16-team playoff. Let's have a 12-team playoff. I want them to play early. I want them to play later.
And play more. Yeah.
You don't care about the kids. No offense, not to you.
I know what you're saying.
About the kids.
I know what you're saying.
There's not one person who walks through the turnstiles at Spartan Stadium, Michigan Stadium, Kinnick Stadium, wherever, and thinks, boy, I hope these kids get out of here early enough so they can go and get their study done. You don't give a rat's ass about the kids.
Point well taken.
Michigan State's playing at USC. Remember? It was a late kick.
10 p.m. Yeah.
You were pissed off at yourself. You weren't pissed off for the kids. You were pissed off that it cut into your Saturday night and that you had to stay up so late. That's what everybody said. I said it on Monday. Man, had to stay up super late and watch Michigan State. What a joke. Did anybody think, wait, those poor kids, they probably didn't get back until, 9 a.m., 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And then how did they get their body clock? Not one person said a damn thing about the kids. You didn't care about Aiden Childs at that time. You cared about yourself. So frustrating. Not directed at you, Trent. I hear it a lot. Suddenly the student athlete becomes really important while you're making the butt-end joke. When I went to school, I never saw those guys in class.
Yeah, your point's well taken. I'm saying with this situation, like you said, if you just wait until signing day to make the move from a coach, it's like, isn't the coach supposed to be, not always, but supposed to be half or more than half the reason the kid signs there?
I would think so, Trent.
So that in and of itself,
right.
And if that's service to the kids, that's all I'm saying.
Agreed. That's well put. It's a disservice to the kids. If that were the case, and they knew about this for an extended period of time, my hope is, if you're looking for a silver lining, you've got a list of candidates. Now, I've said this forever. If I'm the athletic director at a school, I open a drawer. I got 5 candidates that I'm updating annually. For football coach and basketball coach. You'd love to say hockey if you do have a hockey, but not many ADs know a damn thing about hockey. They don't have that pipeline. That's when they go, I need some help. Hey, if you're at Michigan State, God rest his soul, Ron Mason, I need some help. If you're at Michigan, Red Berenson, can I tap into your knowledge a little bit? So my hope is that Michigan has a list. Now, we're going to read a lot of articles for the next few days about why certain guys make sense. The big question is, who's the right fit? And perhaps the bigger question is will they come here? Because as much as Michigan feels like it has to offer, and it does, remember, Sherrone Moore's making what? $5.5 million? How much are these other guys making? Sherrone Moore is making less than the Missouri head football coach. You better be ready to pony up. It's time to get in with some of the bigger boys. And then how quickly do you have to act to keep some of the players you want to keep from this year's team? Case in point, obviously, Bryce. Phone number on the Meyer hotline, 866-838-4843. You've been texting. We will get to those texts on the other side on X's and Bros. This hour brought to you by Meyer.
Mitch Lyons here, founder of Mitch Lyons Wealth Game Plan to protect, grow, and win retirement. I'm here with Tiger legend Kirk Gibson, who we are proud to support and partner with on the newly opened Kirk Gibson Center for Parkinson's Wellness.
Thanks, Mitch. We appreciate your support, and we are excited to have recently opened the center in Farmington Hills. It provides exercise therapy and educational programs that are helping the Parkinson's community, just like Mitch Lyons Wealth helps improve the quality for their clients' retirements. This center helps improve the quality of life for people with Parkinson's.
And Gibby, the best part of all is that access to the center is available to the Parkinson's community free of charge, right?
That's right, absolutely free of charge for people with Parkinson's and their care partners.
You hit a couple of the most famous home runs in Major League history, Gibby, but I feel that your greatest hit will be the positive impact that Kirk Gibson Center is making in the fight against Parkinson's.
Mitch, since my diagnosis, I get up every day and focus on winning that day. This center encourages others to do the same.
Awesome, Gibby. To learn more, go to kirkgibsoncenter.org.
It's a New Year's Eve bingo bash at Soaring Eagle Casino. Close the books on 2025 and win big prizes, including free bingo for a year, logoed champagne glasses stuffed with $500 cash, concert tickets, bingo baskets, and more. Tickets just $200 on sale now at etix.com. Come on down and win big. It's New Year's Eve at the Soaring Eagle Bingo Hall. Main session at 1:30, early bird at noon. Must be 18. Rules at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
Ho, ho, ho! Santa Bucks are back at Meijer. This Friday and Saturday only, save up to $50 with Santa Bucks. Stack your Santa Bucks on top of super sale items to save even more on popular brands like Crock-Pot, Keurig, and Cormia. Clip your Santa Bucks coupon in the Meijer app for low prices and more merry for your money. This Friday and Saturday only, Santa Bucks and Meijer. Now that's what makes the holiday season a good deal better. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Huge here with a message to all of you Lions fans. My good friend Josh Garvey, who runs Dorn Mayhew's Grand Rapids office, will join me every Thursday with former Lion Lomas Brown, and we'll go inside the Lions each and every week all the way through the Super Bowl. Dorn Mayhew is proud to partner with the Huge Show, and we're proud to have a guy like Josh Garvey join us in studio every week. If you have a Lions question or comment, you can drop them at Huge Show on Twitter, The Huge Show on Facebook. Dorn Mayhew proud to be a part of the West Michigan community and across the entire state with their corporate worldwide headquarters in Troy, Michigan. So make plans every Thursday, 5 p.m. It's Josh Garvey, who is the managing shareholder at Dorn Mayhew's GR office, with Lomas Brown on the Huge Show going inside the Lions every Thursday at 5 p.m.
Okay, back with you here on X's and Bros on this Tullymore Thursday, 18 after the hour. 8:35, we will talk Lions and Rams, and we will do that with a friend of the program. We've had him on before. He's really good. He can help us with the Rams perspective. AJ Schulte joins us. You can follow him on Twitter at AJ Schulte FB. Let's get to some text because a lot of folks weighing in on this. They deserve to be heard. Trent, fire away.
Rumors are the school knew about this for a while. Does Michigan cover this up even more if they had beaten Ohio State?
Wow. That's a really good question. I don't think so. Might they wait a little bit longer? That's a great question. I just heard from somebody this morning, same thing, and that is that, hey, listen, they've known since September.
Yikes.
And if they've known since September, that tells you an awful lot about leadership. And that's why there might be more heads rolling out of that athletic department.
That's exactly why I question Ward Manuel. I'm just wondering. I don't know how much longer he's got.
Trent, 100%. You have to. Look, if we're going to blame Jim Harbaugh for things that his staff allegedly did, whether it be Connor Stallions, or guys named who was spying on people on a computer with like 24 federal counts. Remember?
Yeah.
If we're going to say coaches need to oversee their entire program and they're responsible for all of it, and I've said that before, it is very challenging. I'm not going to try to pretend that it's easy. One person in charge of all those people. I want you to think about it for a minute. You've got one football coach. I don't know how many coaches are there on the staff today. 23 or so. And you've got 100 kids. And you've got staffers on top of that. Analytics, all that kind of stuff, right? You want one guy to oversee everybody? That's a lofty expectation. But if I'm going to say you should know what's going on in your program, how come I can't say that about an athletic director? There's a lot of programs. I understand that. This is why I always talk about trust. You've got to get an administrator. I'm going to oversee the Michigan State baseball program. Well, I'm the athletic director at Michigan State. I'm Jim Batten, and I've already got to look over football, basketball, and women's basketball, and hockey. And I think I've got the right people in place. I like Pat Fitzgerald. I trust Tom. I trust Adam Knight. I got all those. But what about these other? I've got to have the right administrator. Trent Valley, you got to trust Trent Valley to make sure he's looking over the softball program or the baseball program, and nothing bad is going on there. And if you're seeing something's on that radar, there's a red flag. You got to come to me, and then I got to do something about it. Football. The athletic director usually is around it regularly. You're not noticing things like this. You're on the road with them. Every athletic director in a big school is going on the road with their football program. And usually, in case you guys are wondering, what you do, you leave the day before. You got a Saturday game. You're leaving Friday, early afternoon. You check in to Bloomington, Indiana. You check into your hotel, and you have a team lunch. And then what you do is you have film and you have meetings. And then the next morning, you're up early. You're doing something similar. You have team breakfast. You have meetings, and you jump on the bus. You go to your room. You take a shower. You're on your bus, and you're headed to the game. It's really you don't have a lot of downtime. Except on Friday night. And is that where the promiscuity began? If I'm the athletic director, a lot of times I'm talking with my coaches. I'm talking with my head coach. Not that you're spying on them, not that you're keeping up on it, just that's the relationship you're supposed to have, right? So how does something like this materialize? Could maybe it materialize during practices, after practices, when you're staying late and things of that nature. AD's not always around there, but you've got to have a pulse on it. That's just part of your job. It's just description. That's why you make $1 million a year. For crying out loud, man. If I can blame a football coach for some of his staffers, why can't I blame an athletic director on the main staffer? And whether you like to admit this or not, Michigan fans, when you look at Ward Manuel and you see some of the issues he's had with the people he's brought on board, it's troubling. Don't tell me it's not. I brought up the three main hires in the three main sports. As much as I love baseball, it's not bringing in money for many college programs. LSU, sure. Florida, probably. Oregon State, sure. Texas A&M, you could count them on, two hands, probably. Hockey brings in Mel Pearson. What happens? He gets let go because of how he handled certain female staffers. Not an inappropriate relationship, but just not professional.
Not good.
Right, not good.
Hey, Shep, can we get to a caller here real quick?
Yeah, we'll do that. Hold on one second.
Yes.
What happened? And now the Sharon Moore thing. And now you're asking him to make another hire? Got to be careful there. Let's get to a caller. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's Brett. He's a father of 3 daughters. He's not happy about the situation.
Yeah. Hi, Brett.
Hey, Shep. Hey, I got a question. How
Brett,
long
good morning, sir.
Find out they've known about this in September? Because if they've known, that means the Washington County or police have known.
Am I not hearing
Why
you?
was he just arrested last night? I mean, something's up, man. This is crooked from the top. I mean, the more heads that
Having
get
some trouble here,
officials
Trent.
need to roll.
Trent, are you hearing Brett?
Into the city officials.
Yeah, Shep, I'm hearing him. Brett, we've
Okay,
got your phone call. Thank you for your comments. What Brett was essentially
Sorry
saying.
about that. We're having I don't know why we're having some issues like this. We didn't have these problems yesterday, but sometimes 24 hours things take place. So
Yeah, we're working through it. But Brett was essentially saying, how did the Washington County police just find out about this? Why was Sharon Moore just arrested last night? That's his question.
he was arrested because of a domestic dispute.
But what Brett's asking, and I know what you're saying.
He wasn't arrested. He wasn't arrested because of the inappropriate relationship with the staffer. He was arrested because allegedly
he went off the rails.
Yeah, I think we can piece this together. Allegedly, he went to her home and made threatening remarks and actions. That's why he was arrested. Why else would Pittsfield Township or Washington County Sheriff's Department, why would they arrest him? Because he had an inappropriate relationship? That happens quite a bit, unfortunately. It doesn't mean someone's getting arrested. Somebody has to file a complaint for you to get arrested. The alleged victim in this, or the person who had the relationship with him, is the one who filed the complaint.
Yeah.
That's the reason why. All right, we're up against a break here. It's been flying by. Want your thoughts? I want more text, and we're going to get to more text. Again, my apologies for the problem with phone lines. Phone number I can give you is Meyer hotline 866-838-4843. We'll try to get that fixed. A little challenging here this morning, but we're getting through it thanks to you and your patience and your participation here in X's and Bros, brought to you by Meyer.
Huge here for the Michigan High School Athletic Association. You can stay up to date on the latest from Lansing 24/7 at MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. The latest news, press releases, and stories connected to every high school in the state of Michigan, available for you 24/7 from the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Log on to MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. And if you're looking for archive boys and girls high school sports, MHSAA.TV. That's MHSAA.TV. TV. 24/7, everything you need to know about high school sports in Michigan. Log on to MHSAA.com.
Make every second count inside the $3,360,000 mega cash cube at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Every Friday and Saturday in December from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. 2 lucky winners will be drawn every hour to step into the cash cube. Once the bills start flying, it's game on. Grab as much cash as you can before the clock hits zero. $30,000 in cash is swirling around, and whatever you can grab is yours. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Farrah's Coffee has been family-owned and operated for over 100 years. Its popular Den Blend and Dark Roast is more than coffee and more than the official coffee of the Detroit Lions. It's a call to rise. Farrah's Coffee and the Lions are the perfect match. They embrace those who show up early, cheer loud, and never back down. Den Blend is perfectly roasted in Grand Rapids and provides the ultimate fuel for fans who wake up and roar. Whether you're tailgating at the game or cheering from your couch, Den Blend is your go-to coffee for your game day ritual.
The Michigan Sports Network is your exclusive home for X's and Bros with Matt Shepard and The Huge Show later today at 3 p.m.
The Freddie the Pizza Man Foundation is dedicated to providing support to families and Michigan schools touched by autism. We invite you to join us in supporting these families and schools by making a donation at freddythepizzaman.com. With your donation, you can help provide essential resources that can make a real.com to make a donation and to learn more about the foundation's mission. That's FREDI thepizzaman.com. Together, we can make a difference.
Okay, back with you here on X's and Bros throughout the state of Michigan. Apologies for some of the echo and some of the problems. We're trying to work through it. It's rather challenging and quite honestly really frustrating. So I know there's a lot of people out there who having the same issues hearing what we're hearing, and there's only so much we can do, unfortunately, right now. I want to get to some more texts. Thankfully, there's no echo when Trent talks, which is great. Go ahead, Trent.
What do you think about making a call to Urban Meyer to Michigan? That comes from Jeff in Hudsonville.
I don't know, considering his feelings and how publicly he's made those feelings, that would surprise me.
Me too. It's a fun question to ask, though.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? We talk about picking up the phone and calling everybody in your contact list. Why not call Urban Meyer?
Can I ask you a quick question?
Of course.
Why is Urban Meyer viewed as a still viable candidate for anything after what happened with him in Jacksonville?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I think
if
people
we're looking at that stuff.
Yeah,
we're talking about character here.
Morality, yes.
Yeah, we're not talking about X's and O's. The thing that's offensive about what happened with Sharon Moore is that he's got a wife and 3 kids, and they've been married, I think, 8 years. And he's messing around with a younger assistant, allegedly. And there are deeper issues, by the way, that are being alleged too. This is more that it's a relationship, but it's also something that might tie them together for a long time, if you get my drift.
Yeah. I don't mean to laugh. I'm just, yes.
Yeah, no, I don't know if that's the case. I'm just saying that's the alleged.
I think with Urban Meyer, and by the way, Jeff, I'm not going
it's really important to bring that up with Urban Meyer too. It's not like you're getting a saint here, which goes to show you. I mean, nobody's perfect. On the other hand, Trent, I would say this: Bobby Petrino was a pig, and he got another chance. Rick Pitino was a pig; he got another chance.
Plenty of second chances, yeah,
plenty.
And I'm not going to bat for Urban Meyer here, so don't get me wrong. But I will say, I mean, as soon as that happened, he did stand at the podium. He faced the media. He said that was stupid.
Yeah.
And he admitted it, not justifying it. Of course, it was stupid. But I think maybe the fact that he kind of squashed the beef right away and got out in front of it and just said, that was stupid. I'm super embarrassed. And moved on and then got fired. Maybe that's why people are willing to overlook it. I don't know.
We're a forgiving society. As long as people are willing to admit their mistakes. I don't know what the hell was going through Sharon Moore's mind when he leaves Schembechler Hall or wherever he was fired from. I assume it's Schembechler Hall since they were trying to prepare for practice. And decides, I'm going to jump in my car and drive to this girl's house and then make these types of alleged threats. You did something wrong. You broke a contract. You're going to be viewed as a villain here. It's going to be short term. You can still recover on how you handle the next piece of action that you take. It's funny, isn't it? How so many coaches talk about, you're going to experience losses, kids. It's how you deal with those that are most important. You're going to get some disappointment in life, but it's how you handle the disappointment. They're preaching that on a regular basis. You have to, because sometimes kids are going to lose their jobs. Starting jobs, backup jobs. You're going to lose to a team you thought you were going to beat. You end up saying to them, what? Hey, listen. This is just a temporary setback. It's how we handle things. We've got to move forward, blah, blah, blah. All those cliches that coaches use to impressionable kids, and then they don't live what they've been preaching. I truly believe this. He could have got an offensive coordinator job somewhere. He handled it the right way. Look, I made a mistake. I screwed up. And I'm living through it right now. I'm having a hard time battling through it. Me and my wife, it's a challenge and so on and so forth. But we're doing everything we can. We've seen that in every walk of life. I'm not saying the guy who is the CEO and handling it with his HR person at the rock concert did this. I'm just saying it happens in just about every walk of life. How are you going to handle it? It was that him getting arrested for the dispute. That's probably as damning to him as the original act itself. Let's get to some text. Go ahead.
Someone throws out Jed Fish from Washington. For the job.
Yep. Former. I don't know what the relationship is there. I'm not sure how he left on good terms or not. I think that makes sense because you just beat them. It's not like they've been spectacular since Kalen DeMoore left.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, Jed Fish, of course, Michigan quarterbacks, wide receivers, and something else. He was a staffer basically at Michigan for 2 seasons.
Yeah, I think
there's a relationship there.
Yeah, I think so.
It's been 10 years, but when you're bringing up names and we continue to talk about the Rolodex, that has to be in there. I think that's a brilliant text. Yeah.
He was at Arizona prior to, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Had one good season, I believe, at Arizona. Had 2 really bad seasons. You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong there. Washington, he's been okay. 500 or just under 500. Okay, just got. You see here. Yeah, here's his. All right, Washington 6-7 and 8-4. Arizona 1-11, 5-7, 10-3. Is the record reflective of the coach? Not always. Just like the record on a quarterback in Pro Football Reference isn't always reflective of the quarterback.
Well, when we talk about Pat Fitzgerald too, it's like, okay, overall at Northwestern, he had a winning record.
Yeah.
Put together a impressive 15-year run, right? But some of those seasons were horrible.
Yeah, especially the last 3.
Yeah. So what do we choose to look at?
Yeah, it's a great question. And absolutely appropriate. If you're in favor of that hire, you're going to highlight the 3 double-digit wins in a place that is really difficult to win. The fact that they never had that before, and he's the first coach to do it, you're going to look at that. If you don't like the hire, you're going to say, man, those last 3 years suck. What the hell are you doing?
You will choose whatever fits your narrative. And you have a 15-year sample size like Pat Fitzgerald did at Northwestern?
We do it all the time.
Yes, we do.
What if you don't have that huge sample size? Then what are you looking at?
Like Jed Fish. You look at the one season that was good, and you say Michigan should hire that guy.
Well, the one season in Arizona that was good.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's been a very average coach.
At Washington, yeah.
Do I take into account that Washington lost a lot of its talent from its national championship game run? Do I take a lot of it into account Arizona when that's a tough place to win football games? It's not like they have a rich history there. Am I using his former relationship at the University of Michigan? I don't know how much that should really matter, to be honest with you. So if he was there and he was their quarterbacks coach and their wide receivers coach, and he was there for 2015, 16, and 17, or 2015, 16, just a couple of years. How is there a strong bond there? I think Michigan has to be very careful here. And I think this is an interesting concept. Would you hire a guy just for a year? Biff Poggi, we're going to ask you to be the interim head coach for next season. So they can gather and make the right hire that's going to be a long-term decision maker. Or do you quickly regroup now?
Yeah, Shep, I don't think that's a bad idea. Like I hear the logic, the former.
Oh, okay.
Just take your time and make sure you get it right. But I think that's a tough sell in 2025 college football. I really do. I think you gotta hire somebody and you gotta move forward. But
what if that person, like think about it for a minute. Think about the situation they're in. Look, I hate to say this. This all goes back to Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, it does.
When Jim Harbaugh left them for the Chargers, and this is kind of swept under the rug because he's been gone for 2 years. He left on a national championship high. He's entrenched in LA with the Chargers. So he's kind of out of sight, out of mind, unless you walk through the building and you see his pictures and things of that nature. He's the one who screwed this program over, and you allowed it to happen, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
By making his decision so late that Michigan really had no other choice.
I'm so glad you brought this up because it does go all the way back to this. Did Michigan ever really want to hire Sharon Moore? We'll never know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But the situation Jim Harbaugh put him in by leaving so late in the hiring cycle.
Yes.
How could you not hire Sharon Moore? He beat up Penn State, beat Ohio State. Yeah.
If you're Sharon Moore supporter, and look, I don't think anybody went out there and said, God, they got the next great Kurt Signetti before Kurt Signetti.
Right.
But when a guy fills in for 4 games and goes 4-1, and a guy beats Ohio State, and he beats Penn State, and he helps get your team to a national championship, and the players seem to respond to him. Don't tell me they didn't. Okay. He inspired those guys to win against Ohio State. And by the way, we did it last year too. Why did we think wrong choice? Or better yet, if you were in that situation, in whatever job you have, hey man, our top sales guy just went down. Unfortunately, he's got mono. He's out for 4 weeks. I need you to take over these accounts. And you kill it. And then that guy comes back. And you don't get what you expect. If that guy moves on and you don't get that role,
yeah.
How do you feel?
That's a good analogy.
I proved myself. Why was it the wrong choice?
I'm not saying it was. I simply think, but I think this is a great discussion because at that time, given the timing of Jim Harbaugh's departure and everything, they had no choice, Shep. How could they justify to that fan base and their alumni and their donors that they weren't going to hire the guy that just beat Ohio State, beat Penn State, and like you said, helped get them to a national championship and win it? How could you not hire that guy? But had that not all happened, I don't know if Michigan would have hired Sharon Moore if they had gone in a different direction. Can't help but wonder.
You're saying if he hadn't had the success?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's kind of a moot point because he did have the success, right?
I know it is, but what I'm saying is if Michigan was able to do a typical coaching search like they're about to do now, right?
Yeah.
They may have gone in a different direction because Jim Harbaugh left so late. They had to go with Sharon Moore by default almost.
You know what tells me why they didn't have great faith in him?
What's that?
5 years, $5.5 million a year.
You're saying they can afford to pay a coach a lot more?
I'm saying it's borderline ridiculous.
Yeah.
That if you consider your program one of the elite programs in college athletics, and that's how they view it, that your coach, it might have been a little more than 5.5, it might be 6. But it's not a whole lot more than that. Is the 40th ranked coach paid in college football? If I said to you, who makes more money? Lance Leopold, who would be a good choice to talk to, by the way, or Sharon Moore? It's Lance Leopold. If I said to you, PJ Fleck or Sharon Moore, who makes more money? We're talking about a guy in Minnesota, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, I mean, of course I would guess Sharon Moore, but it must be PJ Fleck, huh?
PJ Fleck.
Wow.
PJ Fleck made $7 million. This according to USA Today. All right. Let me just preface that. It's according to USA Today in October of 2025. So I looked this up last night. The highest paid coach in college football is Kirby Smart. He makes over $13 million. The second highest paid coach is Ryan Day. Then it's Lincoln Riley. Then it's Dabo Sweeney. That's Trent's favorite. And then it's Steve Sarkisian. Dan Lanning makes $10.5 million. If you are serious about this, you spend all this money on your infrastructure, all this money on these beautiful facilities, weight room, practice facilities. It's unbelievable, right? You're going to pay your head coach $6 million? To you and I, $6 million, count me in. I'm there, baby. I need it. Never made that kind of money in my life. Head coach, Big Ten? Think about it for a minute.
Yeah.
The Big Ten coaches who make more money. Ryan Day, Lincoln Riley, Dan Lanning. Oh, by the way, Eli Drinkowitz from Missouri, he makes over $9 million.
Wow.
Matt Rule makes more money. J.J. Franklin was making more money. Kurt Signetti makes more money. Brett Bielema makes more money. Luke Fickell makes more money. Billy Napier was making more money, and look at the terrible job he did at Florida. Not Big Ten. Jonathan Smith was making more money than Sharon Moore. Okay? So if you're that serious, if you say you're serious, do not even begin the search if you can't spend money on the marquee guy. Late for a break. We'll dive into Lions and Rams when we come back.
Mitch Lyons here from Mitch Lyons Wealth, wishing everyone a happy holidays. Just like the holidays, retirement should be a joyful time too, full of cheer and happiness. But for many people, it seems out of reach, confusing, intimidating, and just too darn complicated. Mitch Lyons Wealth wants to make things easier for you by helping you create a blueprint for a retirement of steel, one with certainty, protection, and income that allows you to live every day in retirement like it's Christmas. Stop kicking the can down the road and let's get you started with a blueprint to win retirement. The first step is having the right tools. I'm offering you our Retirement of Steel toolkit at no cost. This complimentary toolkit includes my book, Retirement of Steel, along with guides for taxes, Social Security, retirement income, and more. It's yours today with a simple call. Call 844-86-STEEL. That's 844-867-8335. Again, 844-867-8335. MitchLyonsWealth.com, your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Ho, ho, ho! Santa Bucks are back at Meijer. This Friday and Saturday only, save up to $50 with Santa Bucks. Stack your Santa Bucks on top of super sale items to save even more on popular brands like Crock-Pot, Keurig, and Cormia. Clip your Santa Bucks coupon in the Meijer app for low prices and more merry for your money. This Friday and Saturday only, Santa Bucks and Meijer. Now that's what makes the holiday season a good deal better. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Huge here with a message to all of you Lions fans. My good friend Josh Garvey, who runs Doran Mayhew's Grand Rapids office, will join me every Thursday with former Lion Lomas Brown, and we'll go inside the Lions each and every week all the way through the Super Bowl. Doran Mayhew is proud to partner with the Huge Show, and we're proud to have a guy like Josh Garvey join us in studio every week. If you have a Lions question or comment, you can drop them at Huge Show on Twitter, The Huge Show on Facebook. Doran Mayhew, proud to be a part of the West Michigan community and across the entire state with their corporate worldwide headquarters in Troy, Michigan. So make plans every Thursday, 5 p.m. It's Josh Garvey, who is the managing shareholder at Doran Mayhew's GR office, with Lomas Brown on the Huge Show going inside the line at 5 p.m.
Soar to new heights of winning with Eagle Casino and Sports. Enjoy your favorite games wherever you are, whether at home or on the go. Dive into exciting slots, spin the roulette wheel, or challenge yourself with virtual table games, all at your fingertips. Sign up now and opt in to receive a deposit match up to $1,500 for the casino, plus up to 100 free spins. Download the Eagle Casino and Sports app today and experience winning with just a tap. Go you! Must be located in Michigan and 21 years or older. Other conditions apply. Visit playeagle.com to join the action. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's time to go in the huddle. 1, 2, 3, top flight.
It's a new day to celebrate and be free. It's a new day full of action and excitement because it's a day for winning. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. It's a new day. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com. Hi, this is Ed Kingursky. Michigan's reward for a 9-3 season, a date with 13th ranked Texas at the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl in Orlando, New Year's Eve at 3 o'clock. Arguably the best non-playoff matchup on the schedule. This will be their second meeting against Texas in as many seasons. Their only other postseason matchup, the 2005 Rose Bowl, won by UT on a last-second field goal. A win over Texas would give the Wolverines a 10-win campaign for the fourth time in the last 5 years. Head coach Sharon Moore said the extra practices a team gets during bowl prep is important, especially for a young team like his.
Huge here for Van Andel Institute Purple Community. Now, they're a grassroots fundraising network powered by the volunteers who support VAI's mission to improve health now and in the future. Learn more at purplecommunity.org.
You are listening to X's and Bros with Matt Shepard on the Michigan Sports Network, but you don't need to be in Michigan to tune us in. Search XB Mornings on X or X's and Bros on YouTube.
punches back, we're going to smile at you. And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
Home run! Home run! He hit it a mile! Let's give them the keys to the Hall of Fame, but not tonight. Tonight they are in the Stanley Cup. Steve Arziman, come get it.
It feels like heaven. Heaven must be lying. I got one question for you, Michigan Nation. Who's got it better than us?
Right center field. That's got carry. It's gone. Number 500 and history for Miguel Cabrera.
Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Yes. This game is over. Let's put the kick. They score. Red Wings win. Detroit basketball.
Red Wings did win last night. 4-3, held on to beat Calgary. 4-0-1 in their last 5. They'll take it. DeBrincat had a couple of goals. They're playing solid hockey. John Gibson was really good through the first 2 periods. Third was a little leaky, a little shaky. But overall, look, you get out of there, you take the win. They're in Edmonton tonight. Somebody texted me earlier, would you trade? I was talking with, not to name drop, but I was talking with Darren McCarty about this yesterday. Would you trade X for Quinn Hughes, the defenseman in Vancouver? Hell yeah. So here are some of the names. Would you trade Lucas Raymond straight up for him? In a second. Would you trade some of your young players for him? Those young players would be who? Marco Kasper, Alex Sendin, maybe a Nate Danielson, a combination of those two. Would you do that? I would. Quinn Hughes is the second best defenseman in the world. There's only one defenseman you'd rather have. Cal McCarr. Colorado. And he's untouchable. I don't want to go Scott Harris and say no untouchables. There are certain players in sport that are untouchables. Okay. Shohei is untouchable. In hockey, Connor McDavid in all likelihood is untouchable. He just signed an extension, so he's untouchable. Nathan McKinnon's untouchable. I would say McCarr's untouchable too. But I would do that like that. Quinn Hughes should have been a Red Wing already. Hi, Philip Sedina. I think they should do that. Our Mitch Line's one poll question, by the way. Still begrudge Matt Efford? Yes? No. Happy for him in LA. I've moved up. Your opportunities there, okay? You can vote as often as you want. You do that on our Twitter handle at XP Mornings. I'll retweet it at Shepard. And we'll give you the results of the Black Hour tomorrow. Okay. We'll get to the final results of the poll question from yesterday a little bit later on. I want to get to some more text. So fire away, Trent.
This is also fresh, but how do you think the Michigan fan base handles this? Do you think they take accountability and move on for once, or do they play the victim again?
I don't know how they can play the victim. When you say the victims again, what do you mean by that? Do you think?
Well, they're probably I mean, this is probably a smart texting.
Were they playing a victim?
During the cheating scandal, during the Stallion scandal, I think is what they're referring to.
Oh.
At least that's how I'm reading it.
They playing a victim?
Well, acting like they didn't do anything wrong.
Okay. Look, self-evaluation is really important, man. Okay. you made some mistakes.
That's a hell of a way to start that.
Jesus, I mean, you made some mistakes. Own them. I had a boss one time who gave me the best advice. Own your own blank. Okay. You own it. You did some things wrong. There was a rogue player involved. Own it. We're going to do our best to make sure it doesn't happen again. Now, we can debate on how that gets things. And if other teams are doing it and so on and so forth, and swapping tapes and trying to get this team and all this other stuff, we can do that. That's fine. But talking about a guy who was doing something that was not above board, I mean, you got to own that stuff. So I don't know. I don't know how they're going to play it. My hope is that embarrassed, angry. They want accountability. And they want to know how it's going to get fixed moving forward. And they have every right to feel that way. That's what you would ask for in your household. That's what you would ask for in your business. That's what you should ask in your athletic program. And don't do this crap that's not a business when you're bringing in over $10 million every single Saturday. That's a big business, man. So knock it off. That's the way it is with everything. And winning shouldn't matter. Oh my God, I can't believe you said that. Yeah, damn right. If you're going to play the moral police, if you're going to say, oh my gosh, this is embarrassing to me, don't turn a blind eye until things are bad.
Well said.
Don't give me this. Well, I'm gonna have blinders on. We won the national championship. This is fantastic. And then 2 years later, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe you're allowing this to happen. Knock it off. Why is it so hard in today's society for accountability? What is it about today? Like adults constantly complain about kids making excuses, and we turn around and we see the same damn thing. But no. This is egregious behavior. Don't give me this Michigan man crap when you've got guys doing this stuff. Okay? But here, this is what all I would remind you is understand who you have. Understand what you're getting. And you have to either embrace it or move on from somebody. Now, nobody would embrace what he did. But I'll give you an example. Brian Kelly was embraced at Grand Valley, at Central Michigan, at Cincinnati, and for a short period of time in Notre Dame. You know why? Because he won. He gets to LSU, he's not embraced because he didn't win. The reason he shouldn't have been embraced in the first place is the type of person that he is. You can't have it both ways and try to convince me I like this guy a lot, even though he ruffles some feathers, but he wins. And then when he loses, say, I never liked this guy. Things you love most about Izzo. I know Michigan fans don't want to hear that. He is who he is. And he's not going to apologize for it. Why should he? Does it help that he wins? Sure. But even if he lost, his forcefulness, his emotion, his passion, his strictness, I love all that about him. That's what I love about him. Okay? Now, we don't necessarily know what it would be like if he lost because he don't know. That's the big problem. Not every coach has got to be that way. But you know who you have. What I loved about John Dean, I had there too. It was a different type of coach. It was a different way of winning, but it worked. You know what both men have in common, though? Integrity. See, that's not a cool thing to talk about today. We want to talk about followers. We want to talk about tweets. We want to talk about NIL. We want to talk about money, contract. The last thing you talk about a lot of times is the integrity. Final results from the poll question and more when we come back on X's and BrO's. Stay with us.
Soar to new heights of winning with Eagle Casino and Sports. Enjoy your favorite games wherever you are, whether at home or on the go. Dive into exciting slots, spin the roulette wheel, or challenge yourself with virtual table games, all at your fingertips. Sign up now and opt in to receive a deposit match up to $1,500 for the casino, plus up to 100 free spins. Download the Eagle Casino and Sports app today and experience winning with just a tap. Go you! Must be located in Michigan and 21 years or older. Other conditions apply. Visit playeagle.com to join the action. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's time to go in the huddle. 1, 2, 3, top flight.
It's a new day to celebrate and be free. It's a new day full of action and excitement because it's a day for winning. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino Resort. It's a new day. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com. Hi, this is Ed Kingursky. Mid-season, a date with 13th ranked Texas at the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl in Orlando, New Year's Eve at 3 o'clock. Arguably the best non-playoff matchup on the schedule. This will be their second meeting against Texas in as many seasons. Their only other postseason matchup, the 2005 Rose Bowl, won by UT on a last-second field goal. A win over Texas would give the Wolverines a 10-win campaign for the fourth time in the last 5 years. Head coach Sharon Moore said the extra practices a team gets during bowl prep is important, especially like his.
The Freddie the Pizza Man Foundation is dedicated to providing support to families and Michigan schools touched by autism. We invite you to join us in supporting these families and schools by making a donation at freddythepizzaman.com. With your donation, you can help provide essential resources that can make a real impact. Visit freddythepizzaman.com to make a donation and to learn more about the foundation's mission. That's FREDI thepizzaman.com. Together, we can make a difference.
Texas and BrO's with Matt Shepard, only on the Michigan Sports Network.
Huge here for Van Andel Institute Purple Community. Now, they're a grassroots fundraising network powered by the volunteers who support VAI's mission to improve health now and in the future. Learn more at purplecommunity.org.
St. Brown is what we are. That guy is where he goes, we go. And his toughness and his willpower, his desire to compete, to help those guys around him, to do whatever it takes to win is second to none.
Love that. Dan Campbell talking about Amon-Ra St. Brown and the importance this weekend. When you think of the Rams, and we'll finish up with some text here in a minute, AJ Schulte is going to join us at the bottom of the hour to talk about Lions and Rams. And by the way, thanks to Trent Valley and Albert Dale, our producer, our engineer, for getting us back on track. So this is great stuff. I can now hear Trent, and I can now hear myself, which is great. No, it's good. It's good. Dan Campbell and Amon-Ra St. Brown. When I say to you about the Rams, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Matthew Stafford.
What worries you about the matchup Sunday? Stafford's the right answer, by the way, only because he's going to be. If the voting were today, he'd be the MVP. Him or Drake May, but he'd be the MVP. Right, and I think a lot of that is because of, well, Drake May's in his second year. You can't do that, which is bull crap. Okay. But it's also, well, he'll have more chances, which again is bull crap because the same people voting also will tell you, you've got to take your shot right now. The window is small. You may never get this chance again.
But you're exactly right, Shep, because put up next to Matthew Stafford, they'd say, well, he's been in the league this long, hasn't won one. Let's give it to him.
Right. Yeah. There's sentimentality. And I'm not saying he doesn't belong there. He does. He's having his best season. He's arguably the best quarterback in the league this year. Doesn't mean I wouldn't want Josh Allen over him. Doesn't mean I wouldn't want Joe Burrow over him. I'm just saying this year he's having the best year. You can't deny that. Okay? Numbers will tell you that. Watching him play will tell you that. I don't need numbers to tell you how effective Matthew Stafford has been. Because if I just wanted numbers, I'd go with Dak Prescott. And you're not going to do that, are you? I hope not.
No.
But he's thrown for the most yards, and he's a long way away from Matthew Stafford's touchdowns. Prescott's also gone with 10 interceptions. Stafford's got 35 and 4. The touchdowns lead the way in all of football. His yards are fourth most. The completion percentage for Matthew Stafford is top 12. Okay, it's gone down just a little bit, but at one point it was top 5. So I think it's the right answer. But what concerns you most about Sunday? For me, it's not really Stafford. I'm worried on how you're going to stop him because he gets rid of the ball so quick.
Yeah, you got a plan for him, of course.
It's that, but how are you going to get to pressure him when he delivers the ball so quick? I would argue this. He has one of the most elite arms the National Football League has ever seen. I'm not being hyperbolic here, folks. I think he has one of the greatest arms the league has ever seen. Who those other arms are, we can debate. Go ahead and throw John Elway in there. Go ahead and throw Dan Marino in there. Go ahead and throw Jeff George in there. Right? But we're talking about arm strength. All right? So, yeah, I think he's also one of the sharpest quarterbacks the league has ever seen, as in mentally. It's amazing how quickly things change. When he was in Detroit, people couldn't stand him. They thought he couldn't stay healthy, even though he started a 9-year stretch every single game. Well, the injury problem. What are you referring to?
Yeah, what injury problem?
His first 2 years. Oh, and one of those games basically didn't have a shoulder, didn't have a left shoulder, didn't have a left arm. Cut him in half, and he threw a touchdown pass to win the game against Field to send everybody into a frenzy. So I think it was 3 games in 10 games he may have played. All right.
Can I ask you a question, Shep?
Sure.
Pertaining to Sunday. So,
sure.
Are you more concerned with Stafford, playing Stafford? Are you more concerned about getting pressure on him, or are you more concerned about the back end of like the secondary with injuries?
I think they go hand in hand, though.
They do, but which one do you think is more of a concern right now?
Getting pressure on him, for me.
I would agree with you.
I think he's going to pick teams apart anyway. But you've got to make him uncomfortable. That's easy to say, move him off his spot. That's one of the keys to every single game, right? What are the keys to victory? We've got to be able to run the ball. We can't turn it over. We've got to be, very strict, and we cannot, be penalized. No kidding. Can you give me? We got to move him off his spot. You want to move any really good quarterback off their spot. Alabama want to move Gunnar Stockton off his spot. He's not a great quarterback. So I get all that. I'm more concerned about how Detroit is going to handle the Rams defense. How are you going to score? What made the Lions so damn good over the last 2 years and really entertaining for you and I, what we loved the most was, you know what? It doesn't matter. We're going to score first. It literally felt like the 84 Tigers, where it's like, oh, there's Whitaker on base, there's Trammell on base, Gibson drives him in, Harris for the home run, Detroit's up 4-0. That's how it felt in 1984 watching the Tigers back then. That's how I felt with the Lions last year. I wouldn't want to kick to the Lions first because they're going to march 80 yards and score a touchdown, and you're going to be chasing them the entire day. You could say something similar to the Rams. If the Rams do that and they're scoring at will, Detroit can't keep up. And that's my concern, because not just their offense isn't what it was, but it's because of what the Rams defense provides and how there's only 2 teams in the National Football League that hold teams to fewer points than the Los Angeles Rams. We label teams we label people. We label athletes, coaches. He can't win the big one. He doesn't recruit well enough. He doesn't use the portal. He doesn't know how to use the NIL, all that stuff. He's too emotional. He's too laid back. We label him all the time. We went through this with Anthony Davis yesterday. Remember? What's the label? Injury prone. Do you use that label for Lauri Markkanen? You don't. Do you use it for Cade Cunningham? You don't. One guy gets that label. Tough to shake it, right? Fair enough. So I get why we think the Rams are an off games. It's Stafford, MVP race. Stevante Adams leads the league in receiving touchdowns, right? It's Puka Nacua, unbelievable, physical, tall, strong receiver who makes some incredible catches, all that stuff. We're not going to talk about their offensive line. Their defense scares the hell out of me. Hard to score on Houston, really hard to score on Seattle, really hard to score on LA. When I ask you, Trent, the best defenses in the National Football League, I got a pretty good idea who you're going to say.
Denver.
You're going to say Denver. You're going to say Houston. You're going to say Seattle. Why doesn't anybody say the Rams? So that's my concern. On Sunday, my concern is more about trying to score on the Rams and probably try to stay with. Let's get to it. Yesterday's poll question, the Mitch Lyonswell poll question. Who's the best team in the NFC? Rams, Packers, Seahawks, Bears. How did people vote?
The Rams ran away with this. 84% say the Rams, 11% the Seahawks, 3% the Bears, 2% Packers. More Bears votes than Packers.
I would say Rams, Packers, Seahawks, Bears. Okay. And how did the Daily Wager, brought to you by Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort?
Took the Wings on the puck line, -1.5. I got cute. You know, they won the game 4-3, but they did not win by a goal and a half.
But dude, they were up 4-0.
Yeah, they should have.
I'm going to give you a pass. What do you got for us tonight?
Tonight, I will go Thursday night football. I will take the Buccaneers minus the 4.5 against the Falcons. Falcons are a bad football team. Raheem Morris, dead man walking. Give me the Bucs minus 4.5.
We're going to talk with AJ Schulte, Rams writer, when we come back on X's and Bros, brought to you by Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
It's a New Year's Eve bingo bash at Soaring Eagle Casino. Close the books on 2025 and win big prizes, including free bingo for a year. Logoed champagne glasses stuffed with $500 cash, concert tickets, bingo baskets, and more. Tickets just $200 on sale now at etix.com. Come on down and win big. It's New Year's Eve at the Soaring Eagle Bingo Hall. Main session at 1:30, early bird at noon. Must be 18. Rules at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
Ho, ho, ho! Santa Bucks are back. At Friday and Saturday only. Save up to $50 with Santa Bucks. Stack your Santa Bucks on top of super sale items to save even more on popular brands like Crock-Pot, Keurig, and Cormia. Clip your Santa Bucks coupon in the Meijer app for low prices and more merry for your money. This Friday and Saturday only. Santa Bucks and Meijer. Now that's what makes the holiday season a good deal better. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Huge here for the Michigan High School Athletic Association. You can stay up to date on the latest from at MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. The latest news, press releases, and stories connected to every high school in the Michigan, available for you 24/7 from the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Log on to MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. And if you're looking for archive boys and girls high school sports, MHSAA.TV. TV. 24/7, everything you need to know about high school sports in Michigan. Log on to MHSAA.com.
I know how much you love football, and I know how much you thirst for Lions talk. Hi, this is Matt Shepard. Every Friday morning on X's and Bros at 8:35, we will dive deep into the Lions. What went right, what went wrong, and what we can expect next. We call it What's Brewing with Lions analyst Rob Rubik, brought to you by Ferris Coffee. He's going to join me every week to break down the Lions and their opponent. What's Brewing with Rubes, brought to you by Ferris Coffee, every Friday morning at 8:35 on X's and Bros.
There are really good games in the NFL this weekend. The NFL should feel rather fortunate that they've got some. I'm not saying Atlanta and Tampa is tonight. No, it is not. But there are some entertaining games expected. Buffalo at New England, for example, including the Lions in Los Angeles against that showdown for both teams. Really, not that like they have to necessarily prove anything if you're the Los Angeles Rams. I think they're the best team in the football league right now. AJ Schulte can help us with that. He joins us. He covers the Rams for 8 Sports. You can follow him on Twitter at AJ Schulte SB, and he's with us on this Totally More Thursday. AJ, always appreciate it, and I always appreciate the insight, especially getting up early on your side of the country. What is it about the Rams that has impressed you most so far this year?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of their versatility. You know, Sean McVay is well documented as kind of an offensive guru, but this year they've really shown a new side of that in terms of their ability to, as it goes. Basically, like midway through the year, they went from this wide receiver heavy game plan that kind of just revolved around Puka Nacua, and then all of a sudden against Jacksonville midway through the year, they just throw out 3 and 4 tight end formations and get like just super heavy personnel, and defenses had no idea how to solve that, and they can just throw that counter punch that they really weren't throwing for quite a while beforehand. So I think this year more than anything, it's just that they have this sort of new identity, and now like it feels more than ever that they have this superstar talent everywhere that they can just punch and counter punch and throw all sorts of different looks at you in ways that they weren't doing prior, which is saying something considering, you know, Sean McVay's reputation for the last basically 8 years since he's taken over as play caller.
You and I both know this. This is the ultimate team sport, and other players make other players better. Matthew Stafford made Nate Burleson better. He had his best years of his career in Detroit. Golden Tate, best years of his career in Detroit. Calvin Johnson. They help one another, of course. How do you think Matthew Stafford has helped members of the Rams offense, specifically some already established really good players like Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams? And I would also remind people, you know, Cooper Kupp won a Triple Crown and he had number 9 thrown in the football. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I think with Puka, it's the way that his game revolves around a lot of yards after the catch, and he's a really great contested catch specialist. And sure. I think Matthew Stafford, is just very accurate as a passer, and he has the arm talent to kind of navigate the tight windows for Puka to kind of, you know, get after the catch, but also to really challenge downfield. I think of that touchdown against Arizona just last week. Puka basically just dunks on Will Johnson in the end zone for a touchdown. And it's like just that innate trust and that basically arm arrogance really that Stafford plays with to just be able to go up and hit those windows and trust his guys at every level of the field. And then with Adams, like you see that connection in the red zone, right? Devontae Adams is just dominating in the red zone. Their chemistry is just perfect. The timing and accuracy, obviously, with Stafford, the ability to hit those windows. Like, there were a bunch of people saying that a lot of Stafford's touchdowns are like stat padding because he scores a lot of them within the 5-yard line. But to do that, you have to be a pretty good passer with, you know, with the red zone, with how contested that whole area of the field is and things like that. So, like, Stafford is really elevating those guys. But then you look at, like, in the offensive line, Stafford is, you know, good at getting the ball out. He's good at playing on time, great depth in the pocket, so he's not, you know, challenging these offensive tackles to set super deep or, you know, like take unnecessary sacks. Like he's veteran, and that really helps, especially some of the younger guys on the offensive line, you know, Steve Avila, Alaric Jackson, guys like that. And recently they've had Warren McClendon, who's he's a third-year player, but this is most of his first few starts in the NFL over at right tackle over the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And he's helped him significantly as well. So I think we're kind of just seeing Stafford age like a fine wine. And it's really helped unlock pretty much every facet of the offense.
I think we right now, AJ, have three of the top arms in NFL history. I think Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Matthew Stafford possess three of the greatest arms perhaps the league has ever seen. We can get a good Dan Marino and John Elway, Terry Bradshaw. Aaron Rodgers, you'd have to throw him in there too, so he's current. So I do get why people gravitate toward LA's offense because of the Stafford and the amount of weapons that they possess. But I think the defense, and because of Sean McVay's offensive brilliance, but I think the defense gets almost overlooked nationally, not saying by you. What is it about the defense that probably teams such fits so far this season in terms of scoring?
I think it's a defensive front. Houston obviously has just an incredible wealth of talent on their defensive line, but I think the Rams are just as talented up front, and I think that a lot of teams, especially in a league where your pass protection and the quality offensive line play is really hard to find nowadays. Like the Rams can just throw guys at you. Obviously, Jared Verse is the linchpin of all of that. He's the guy that teams base their whole protection plan around. And the Rams build the whole plane out of Jared Verse. But Byron Young, third-year player, he's got 11 sacks on the year. That's the first time any Ram has had 11 sacks since Aaron Donald. Right? He's taken that next step as a pass rusher on his own, and is also capitalizing on Jared Verse. And then you have in the middle, Puna Ford was a free agent signing that they had. He's come on really strong at nose tackle, kind of anchoring against the run, and that frees up, a second-round pick from last year, Braden Fisk, and then third-round pick from a couple years ago, Kobe Turner. And both of those guys are really fantastic pass rushers. Kobe Turner is a great run defender as well. Fisk is a superb pass rusher who keeps getting better every game. And then also in the ways that they get deployed, teams have really struggled with that all season long. And it kind of helps take some of the pressure off of their secondary because they know it's on any 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 passing situation, they're going to get pressure on the quarterback just because they're simply too talented not to.
Yeah, and then you've got that second level led by Nate Landman, who's been unbelievable. I think he's, if he was playing, probably not fair if he was playing in New York because LA's a big market and a lot of people are watching the Rams anyway. But if you weren't overshadowed by Jared Verse and the offense of LA, I think Detroit goes through something similar to Jack Campbell. Two of the better linebackers in all of football will be playing in this game here. Now, and we're talking with AJ Schulte of A to Z Sports. You can follow him on Twitter at AJ Schulte FB. What about the Lions coming to LA? What's the deepest concern you think Rams fans, if they have many, have with the Lions?
I think you have to look at the secondary and some of the passing game woes that have crept up over the last couple of games. Emmanuel Forbes is coming off of his really worst stretch in this season. I would say he allowed over 100 yards against Carolina just a couple of weeks ago. Last week, Michael Wilson went all over the field on the Rams for, I believe he had 142 yards last week as well. And now in comes Jamison Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Jahmyr Gibbs, all three of whom are dynamic receiving threats that you have to account for. And the Rams have had some injuries in their secondary. Quentin Lake is out. I don't really know when he'll be back. They're hopeful that he will be back for a playoff run. But kind of in his place, you've had Josh Wallace takeover, former Michigan man, and he's held up admirably, I would say. But it's when you're going up against Amon-Ra St. Brown in really some of your first starts, so that's going to be a difficult task.
Mm-hmm.
And quite frankly, I don't know if the Rams have a single player that can keep up with Jameson Williams, right? Like, not many teams do, but for the Rams specifically, that's a matchup that you're circling and wondering, well, can they, like when in these obvious passing situations, and ever since Dan Campbell has really kind of stepped up calling the plays, Williams is kind of dominating the space. He's been a real focal point of the offense, and the Rams love to play a lot of cover one man coverage. Do they have a guy that can even keep up with Williams in those scenarios? And if they do, and you have to double cover him, then what do you do with Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs out of the backfield, right? So I think if you're the Rams, this is a really challenging matchup just because the Lions have so many different ways they can hit you. And then, oh yeah, here comes David Montgomery right up the middle when they need yards on the ground. So it's really a dynamic situation that the Rams just have to figure out how they're going to cover all of these guys. And for the most part, like, they've been somewhat successful this year in doing so, but this stretch over the last few weeks has been concerning, I would say.
Yeah, I think the big question Lions fans have right now, AJ, is are they going to be able to protect Jared Goff long enough? What's made Matthew Stafford so effective this year, and rightfully so as an MVP candidate, is how quickly he gets rid of the football. Can Detroit get pressure? And going into the game against Dallas, Detroit allowed opposing quarterbacks the longest amount of time to throw the ball, 2.99 seconds. Can they get to Stafford? And it's even more challenging because how quickly he gets rid of the ball and how quickly he recognizes defenses. There's nothing you're going to throw at him that he hasn't seen before. And can they protect Jared Goff long enough for him to pass against LA?
Yeah, I think I'll answer from the Rams offense first before Detroit. I think Detroit's defense, Hutchinson lines up primarily kind of over the right tackle, which will be Warren McClendon coming into one of his first few starts in the NFL. So that right away feels like a potential matchup nightmare, right? Hutchinson is extraordinarily difficult to block.
You would hope
or even
for Detroit.
Right. Even for veteran offensive tackles. And then so on the other side, you've got Al-Qadim Muhammad, who I think had a fantastic game against the Cowboys on Thursday Night Football. And the Rams left tackle, Alaric Jackson, is the one allowing the most sacks on the team by far and kind of lapping the field with pressures allowed. And Muhammad is very difficult to block one-on-one. I think next gen stats in those one-on-one blocks, he's like 5th in the league in pressure rates this season. So for the Rams, like protecting Stafford, who do you help in those passing scenarios, right? Do you help your inexperienced guy at right tackle and kind of chip Aiden Hutchinson and leave your left tackle, who's kind of struggled this year in those passing down situations one-on-one with a pass rusher who is getting better every single game, or vice versa, and just kind of play the odds of, hey, I trust a right tackle. I trust that being Stafford's throwing side, he'll be able to recognize that pressure coming quick and get rid of the ball before Hutchinson can impact the play. But it's a tough matchup to deal with because your Detroit's interior is also really stout. And so you have to kind of figure out how you're going to challenge this pass rush, even if Stafford is getting the ball out quick. There's still going to be those obvious passing situations where Detroit is going to line up and just tee off of the pass rush. They're going to just full send the house. I think Kelvin Shepard has been great at dialing up pressure and designing pressure. And so that's going to be a challenge for the Rams to figure out. But then on the flip side, probably going to be even more difficult for the Lions, just because I think the Rams boast a very deep pass rush, both in the interior and on the outside, where if the run game isn't working, because the Rams have been pretty stout for overall in the run defense, Nate Landman has been super critical in those scenarios. Is this a game where Detroit revolves around getting Jahmyr Gibbs out quick in space, right? Like, is that the game plan? Is this Amon-Ra St. Brown after the catch? And this is one of those times where I feel like Sam Laporta being out really stings, because this would have been a fantastic matchup for him. We've already seen him put up huge numbers against the Rams in the past.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I guess the way you help the LA offensive line is, with those outstanding tight ends that you have and the depth that you have. It's great insight. It's a really fun conversation. Enjoy the games this weekend as you always do. AJ, thanks for getting up early. We appreciate the time very much. Keep up the great work on A to Z Sports, okay?
Thank you so much. I appreciate the invite.
You bet. Anytime. We enjoy having you. AJ Schulte joining us from A to Z Sports here on X's and BrO's. I did read an article on ESPN yesterday, Trent. We can dive into this a little bit more tomorrow, that they picked the MVP as Drake May, just ahead of Matthew Stafford. I asked 2 weeks ago why not Myles Garrett. They had Myles Garrett fourth and George Love third. And they also had, believe it or not, Sam Darnold fifth.
This does feel like a year where the quarterback's going to win the MVP, and Drake May has as good a case as anybody, but I give it to Stafford right now. I think you would too.
Yeah, and for Seattle, as far as Seattle's concerned, I'd probably put Jackson Smith and Jigba up ahead of Sam Darnold, although Sam Darnold's the one getting into the football. Good stuff from AJ Schulte. We appreciate him. We appreciate you for taking time and enjoying the conversation on a Tullymore Thursday. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock.